We're gonna fall. Ah, cook it. There you go. It's backwards. Look backwards. I don't know. Hey, good morning. It is 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. We are live at 5:09. Is my clock working? There's 2 o'clock. Yeah, it's moving. It's working. Hey. Cute little $10 clock from Walmart. I'm gonna put on the wall next time. This time it's off to the side there. And good morning. Happy Scrum Day. Right? Every day Scrum Day. This is our Daily Scrum with Greg Mester. I'm an Agile coach and Scrum Master. And we're going to talk about a couple points related to Scrum and Agile and see how that goes. And let's say hello, happy Scrumming to you all. Hope I don't write it wrong. That's good. And it's funny. Talked about a couple things the other day, right? Talked about flags. Talked about a few different topics. And I should have wrote it down. I've given a all-day session with a bunch of Scrum Masters for another organization in the company I'm working for, and some of the questions has pinpoint on what we've talked about so far, which was pretty funny. Wasn't really expecting that, but it's kind of funny how what you talk about comes out in what people are asking about. So that's pretty cool. So my brain stopped working. It's 5 a.m. What are we gonna do? There's so many things to talk about that came up. Yesterday was an all day. It was a long day. This morning, mostly it's just gonna be about daily scrums and how to do them, what we should be looking for, and so what I want to talk about more again. I think I want to emphasize the micro content of the daily scrum and what you're really getting into. We had a big discussion about that. I want to really hone on that one and talk about. I want to talk about the CSPO product owners and helping them be better. So there's two areas that Scrum Masters have to help their teams with. There is the team side, where they're in there every day talking to them, but there's also the product owner side. A lot of the books, a lot of the information talks mostly about team dynamics and how to manage teams. But if you do not work in both the product owner side, where your backlog is, and the team side evenly, all switching back and forth, neither one will work. And I actually brought up to the Scrum Masters in this class is that, I asked them, how many people had a CSPO? How many people took the product owner class? I think I had 1 or 2 that actually said yes. My recommendation to all Scrum Masters is to take the CSPO class. I'm not a plug for any particular group or whatever, but I actually myself, I had learned Scrum. And before I actually took my CSM class, I actually took my CSPO class because I was a Scrum Master. I was like, I got the team dynamics. I'm working on that, and everything's going fine. My biggest problem was the backlog and dealing with the product owners. And I had, 30 years of program management, project management. I could write a spec. I could write a requirement document. In fact, I was a chair of some committees, DoD committees, and that was no issue. But I still had problems with the product owner. So I went and took the CSPO class for 2 days just to get the thoughts of how a product owner is supposed to be working everything. So what I want to recommend to everybody is tell your BAs and your product owners to take the CSPO class. Encourage them. You have it at your office, take it. Scrum Alliance does one. I don't know if Scrum.org does one. I know SAFE has their own little product owner class. I like the classes because I want people to interact. I want people from one product owner to talk to other people at other companies and kind of learn what they're doing versus taking a test. I'm not a test guy. I can take tests, but I'm not like, ooh, I passed the test, so that means I'm good. I'm like, no. Big thing about Scrum is about interacting with people. I like the new icy Agile way of not necessarily a test, but they make sure that you interact with the class and that you are participating and able to learn. And by doing a class, it forces you to learn from other people in other ways that you may not get from a book or video. So I really encourage people to take the CSPO class. It's one of the more inexpensive ones. It's 2 days, I believe. But I definitely would take it. If you haven't taken it, you're a Scrum Master, can I say shame on you? You should take the CSPO class. If this is what you want to do for a job, you should have experience in both. Most of the Scrum Master stuff it doesn't get into the real specifics of backlog and getting your feedback and stuff. So I think you should. Anyway, okay. So I recommend the CSPO class, and that's something I recommend because if you don't get the backlog, you don't get the product owner working, you will fail as a Scrum Master. And then I just want to talk about micro commitments again. So I brought that up and I really thought about it. I thought it was a great concept. So Daily Scrum becomes, and I just shook the whole table so the whole thing went, Daily Scrum is like a little micro commitment. You have if you're doing scaled or release planning, so you have a release commitment, right? Then you come down to a sprint commitment, which is your 1 or 2 weeks or however long you're doing it. And I would always recommend if you're doing a month, keep working your way down to 2 weeks. 1 week would be awesome, but not a lot of teams could do that. They're not ready for that. So what you get is a micro commitment. So rather than doing the 3 questions, what have I done? What am I going to do today? And then what are my blockers? I would like to change that second question into getting a micro commitment. I think that would revolutionize a lot of your scrums. And you can't come right off the bat and say, I need a commitment from you. Please give me a commitment. I need to know today what you're going to get done today so I can plan my day. Don't do that. But get them to tell you and work it way. Maybe you talk to them, you introduce it to them as a Scrum Master. Or you're a team member, or you don't have to be a Scrum Master, and say, hey, how about we try this micro commitment stuff? We commit for a sprint. Why don't we do a little micro commit? Like, what are we committing to today? And I have to ask them, what are we committing to for the rest of the day? Bob, are you going to, Bob will say, well, okay, well, I commit to getting this task done, and I should be done by 3 o'clock today. Okay. Jane, what are you doing? I should finish my coding in my database, by today. But change it from I'm working on something or so what's my commitment to getting done today? I think that's a better word. I think we should go with that. So I'm going to leave it with that. It's 9 minutes into our daily Scrum, and people I was doing stuff yesterday were to talk about refinement. And I said they would take an hour long session, and they can't get people to attend. I think some groups even had 2-hour sessions for refinement. And I'm like, well, one, we're going to work on facilitation because I think you can do better and make them tighter. And then I suggested, and here's a third topic, so we have time. You have an hour-long session, and you can't get your POs and everybody to show up. So Instead of doing an hour long, say it's an hour long and you got 10 stories you want to refine. Take that 10, or that 10, right? Here's your 10 stories. And cut it in half to 5 stories. And cut your session to a half hour. And instead of having one big whole hour session, because if you look on people's calendars, there's really no room for an hour session, then have 2 half-hour sessions, right? And then they might be able to attend that more often. And you can do it earlier in the morning so that you can get onshore and offshore to be together during these refinement sessions. I notice some groups like, well, the product owner can be there at 8 o'clock in the morning for a half hour, or 9 o'clock in the morning for a half hour, so that the product owner can be there to be part of your refinement sessions. You do 2 half-hour sessions. I think that actually be more agreeable. And you keep it to the agenda, part of your facilitation, and work on that. And we'll talk about facilitating these meetings and agendas in a future episode. But I said I was going to be done at 9, and I kept talking. It's terrible. So this is 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. I hope you enjoyed your sentence. Your sentence. You look like you're going to jail. This session, and we actually talked about 3 little pieces of content today. So we talked about doing the CSPO class, doing the micro content, and cutting your daily Scrum, your refinement session from an hour-long session to a half-hour session, so they can your POs and business people can attend and only make it a half hour. And we'll see if the cat knocks the clock off the back. So this is 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Please subscribe, hit the little bell, make it buzz so you can see when we do these sessions. Our people are getting bigger. Here comes a cat. This is a clock I got at Walmart. I'll put a tag and link how you can get one like that. I wanted to put a clock just to keep an eye on the time and where we're at, and how far we're doing. Looks like the clock is pretty accurate. It's just 5:20 on my computer and 5:20 there. It's really raining outside right now, pouring down rain. Of course, the cat's interested now. There's a clock on there, and she can knock it over. Anyway, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Happy scrumming. Enjoy your day. Have fun, right? Enjoy what you do. It's fun what we do. We get to build things in code and break it down and do all kinds of things and build product and make everybody's lives hopefully a little bit better every day. So I hope you're having fun with these sessions. Please share them with everybody. And again, subscribe. I put posts on LinkedIn, like it on LinkedIn, share it on LinkedIn. I don't mind if you share my content. And if you want to take little pieces of the content and share it with your teams, be my guest. There's no copyright whatsoever on this material. You can share with all your teams. If you have a topic area, text me, question me. If there's an area you want to have a topic on, if it's any good, let me know. Take it, share it back with your teams if you can. That's fine by me. Or translate it, put it however you want. Again, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Thank you very much. We're 2 minutes early. Give you 2 minutes left to your time back to your lives. And thanks. Have a great day. And happy scrumming.